If you're spending so much time scrolling through other people's lives, thinking about this big, beautiful life that you want to live and all the things you want to do, but every day you go to bed feeling mentally exhausted because you keep doing absolutely nothing about what you actually want and the life that you want to live. Girl, if that's you, this is your wake up call. Go get up. My name is Chini, and this channel is about getting your life together while actually living it. It's not about perfectionism, it's all about progress. Let's talk about what the real issue is. You know where you want to be, whether that is achieving financial stability, leveling your wardrobe, starting a new business. You know what that is, and you know where you are right now. There's a gap between where you are right now and that version of you that you are envisioning, and what's happening is that gap is paralyzing you. So instead of doing anything about it, you scroll on TikTok for endless inspiration that you do absolutely nothing about. You stay in bed for an extra hour thinking and fantasizing about that dream body, about the business, about the life that you want to live. You do nothing about it, you feel miserable, rinse, repair, we keep going over and over again. And you know the worst part of this? You know you're not a lazy person, you know you're not an unmotivated person, you're actually such a hardworking babe, you just know you're that girl. So you're so frustrated, like what is going on? The truth is you just feel stuck in that gap. The distance between here and there feels so big that your brain is going absolutely nuts. So instead of doing anything about it, you're just like, yeah, but you feel stuck, you're not comfortable because you want to grow, you want to do more things, but it just seems impossible. You know that if you put your mind to it and do what needs to be done, you get there, but somehow, some way, it just feels like you don't know how to do it, or there's just something holding you down. I know this very well because I've been there. I'm still there on some days, and here's what I've learned. The fact that there's a gap between where you are right now and where you want to be, it's not a problem. Like, that's literally the definition of growth, going from point A to point B. The problem is that that gap seems so unmanageable. It seems so huge that you cannot possibly fathom how to jump from where you are right now to where you're trying to be. Instead of doing anything about it, you're playing safe and literally shutting down. So these are 5 ways we're gonna fix it. Nothing complicated. It just requires you to be absolutely honest with yourself. The first thing you're going to do is get super clear on your vision. This is a step that is so important, and you cannot skip this step because it will save you more than you know. It will literally be your lifeline. And this is not what Instagram tells you or what your friend is doing or what seems cool to talk about. What do you want for yourself? If you could design your dream life, what would that look like? What do you look like? Where do you live? Like, how do you want to feel in your body? How do you want your life to look? You need to be very honest about your vision, your own vision, your own, like when you sit down and think about your life, what does that look like? And please write it down. This will be your North Star. This will be the thing that you keep going back to, reading and saying, you know what, I know exactly why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Like, this is what I'm trying to achieve. This is the vision that I have for my life. Listen, I want to be successful. That sounds great. I want to be rich. It sounds great, but what does it mean? Rich to somebody isn't rich to another person. $1 million and $1 billion, arguably both rich, but to who? Saying I want financial stability where I don't have to worry about money, being a bit more specific about what exactly you want your life to look like. I want to explore the world and see 10 countries this year. In 15 years, I want to live in this place, have this, have that. Be very specific. This is how I want to feel in my body. I want to feel very emotionally regulated. I want to be happy. I want to read more. I want to be whimsical, tap into. Do you get what I mean? Just be very specific about what you want your life to look like, what you want your day-to-day to look like, how you want to feel, what you want to achieve, and just what does success mean to you? Number 2, you want to identify what's actually in the gap. And I mean, really look at where you are right now. No judgment, no blaming yourself, just honesty. For example, if you want to have a successful business, but you haven't even registered a domain name, there's a gap. I can already see the gaps. If you want to be financially stable, but every month you don't know where your money is going, you keep saying you want to save and invest, but you don't even have an investment account. You just know you want to do these things, but it's like, yeah, at some point there's a gap. So what you want to do is write down the actual specific things standing between the current you, where you are right now, and that vision of yourself that you have. And you know what you realize when you write down that list? It's not as scary as you think. The reason why you've been stuck in this gap and just not doing anything about it is because you don't even want to sit with it. You don't even want to come face to face with, okay, these are the things that you want to do, these are the things that you need to do. You know where you want to go and where you are right now. You're like, yeah, that sounds like a lot, but girl, you're gonna make a list. You have to be realistic. Like, if you're gonna move forward, we need to know where we're going. Okay, so write it down and you realize it's actually not that scary. At the end of the day, it is a to-do list, and one thing about lists, you can do them. They're actionable. Writing it down would take out the scariness, right? Like, now you have action items, and that leads to my next point. You need to break down those gaps, break down that list into actionable steps. Lots of people get stuck here because now, yeah, they know where they want to be, they see the gap, but it still feels overwhelming, especially when it's a huge gap. What you need to do is break it down until the steps become embarrassingly simple. Let me give you an example. You want to build financial stability, and let's say one of your goals is to have £10,000 invested at the end of this year. Actionable steps: open an investment account. If you don't already have 10K, before we even get to the 10K, let's say you literally don't even know what to do about investing, set a 2-hour block. Do nothing. Just set a 2-hour block to understand how ETFs work, how the stock market works at a beginner level. Because you can't even do something if you don't know what it is, right? Now, this 10K, if you don't already have that money somewhere and ready to put into the stock market, you need to figure out how that 10K is going to come about. Because you want to invest 10K doesn't mean this 10K will just appear. If you already have the 10K saved, fantastic. Let's jump right into doing the action. If you don't have the 10K saved, then we need to figure out how much you're putting away every month to have 10K invested at the end of this year. Another actionable step, after you figured out how much you're putting away every month, just automate it. Every month is going to go right from your bank account, from your paycheck, right into your investment account. That is an actionable step that is so seemingly simple, but takes you right toward the vision you have for your life, towards your goal of saving 10K this month, and towards your overall vision of financial stability, of being work optional, of having your money work for you, of, do you get my drift? If you want to start a business, but you don't even know what you want to be selling, you don't even know what service you want to offer, actionable step, spend 30 minutes this week writing out everything. Just do a brain dump. What are the gaps you're seeing in the market? What are you even interested in? What are your skills? Okay, pick 3 business ideas from everything you've written down and do a deeper dive, like research more into that. Are there people you can talk to? That is an actionable step. Talk to people in the industry. Identify 3 people in your network on LinkedIn, on Instagram that you can reach out to have a quick chat about what you're thinking about, or to just learn more about the business, right? You see what I mean about actionable steps? If you really want to get fit and one of your goals is to move your body more consistently, but it's like, okay, what does that mean? Tomorrow, go on the treadmill for 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes. That's it. When you put it that way, listen, taking that one step isn't going to fix everything. It doesn't now mean, oh yes, the vision I have for my life has been accomplished. But God, listen, take the first step versus just doing absolutely nothing. And we'll talk about how all of these little actions compound. But first, make it so simple that you can't not do it. Like, at that point, if you don't do it, if you can't walk for 15 minutes tomorrow, you're being ridiculous. Like, you need to get to that point with yourself, like, okay, babes, if I really can't open my investment account, like tap, 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 download account, fill it in, spend 2 hours learning about something that will help me, there's a problem. You see what I mean? Number 4 is do one thing every single day. This step is non-negotiable. It's not when you feel like it. It's not when you have time. Every day, do one thing. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be life-changing. Remember, we have this list of actionable items. We just have to move forward. We just have to make progress. The compound effect of daily action is insane. It's unbelievable. If you do this in 3 months, that's 90 times you've walked towards something that you want. In 6 months, it's 180 times. You cannot tell me that you would do something like you would take 180 steps, walk on something 180 times, and you will not make progress and you will not move forward. It is not possible. I can tell you that for free. And here's the thing, the more you do it, the more you stay in motion, the more you take action, the less paralyzed you feel. You just find that it's much easier for you to just get into it. You're like, oh, I need to do this, and you just kind of do it. And the thing is, action is what creates clarity. You cannot think your way out of this gap. You have to act your way out of it. You have to do things. You have to close the gap. And you're not going to close that gap by just, this gap. This is what I want. Girl, let's get moving. And finally, baby girl, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You're gonna have to stop medicating with scrolling. I know this is a hard one. It's a hard one for me as well, but you have to stop numbing yourself with all of this dopamine hits. Doom scrolling, laying in bed, just, it feels like you're relaxing, but think about it. You never truly feel relaxed. You always feel like there's something at the back of your mind. And that makes sense. It's because you're avoiding something, you're resisting something, you think you're relaxing, but you're not. And because you don't feel relaxed, right? It's the discomfort from that gap. And I get it. Facing the work, facing the discomfort, it doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. Doing the work, throwing yourself into it, it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's just easier to spend an hour doing nothing, but you're not doing nothing. Like, your brain is working and you could put that time into doing something else. And let me tell you, your body doesn't like it either, because you never feel good. Of course, there are times where you just want to take a scroll break. Like, I love a nice 30 minutes TikTok scroll. You find the gems, or sometimes you're looking for something specific. You're like, I'm gonna just go into a rabbit hole of hair videos and get inspiration on hairstyles. You get what I mean? That's totally different from when you know that there's 1,001 things you could be doing, you should be doing, but it almost feels like you can't get yourself to do anything. And it's been 2 hours, you're scrolling, you don't want to do it, but baby girl, you're not a tree. It's your phone. The phone doesn't own you. Like, let's stop doing that, okay? You know what my hack is? Because I can't even lie, this still happens to me when I'm in that phase where I find that I'm just like scrolling, or I have the urge to pick up my phone and scroll. I do something that I should be doing, that I want to be doing, that I know I should be doing. Just do it for 10 minutes. Just face it for 10 minutes. I carry my journal. I write out my thoughts. 10 minutes. I start researching something that I'm working on. 10 minutes. What you find is it gets better. You don't feel as much resistance anymore. When you just act and you do it consistently, like, it's okay. You find it so much easier to start to get into things versus needing a 2-hour scroll for a 10-minute activity. Girl, that's insane. I'm making this video because I need to hear it too. There are days where the gap just feels insane. I don't want to do the work. I just want to scroll. But when I think about where I was a few years ago and where I am now, it's really the accumulation of those tiny steps, of those actions, of me doing the damn thing, of me closing the gap. Listen, you know what you want. You know where you're trying to get to. You know what you need to do. My question to you is, are you going to keep thinking about it, or are you actually going to get started? Girl, it's time to get up. Your future self is literally waiting for you. we gotta do what we gotta do. If this is a reminder you needed, let me know in the comment section so I can do more videos like this. See you guys later. Bye. I did it. I did the damn thing. One video, one at a time. We're gonna do another one and another one and another one. Whew.